Thank you everybody for joining us today, and I do appreciate having Dr. C in the house. Dr. C is a great doctor and he will be one of the speakers today. So please bear with us and stay to the end. I'm Dr. Grace Hula myself. So I'm just going to start with some universal questions to just give you something to think about. I know you probably think about this already, but like, what are your biggest health challenges? If you're brave enough, write it in the chat. What is your number one challenge, health challenge you're trying to achieve, or what are your health goals? What do you need help with health-wise? And what is the number one thing that you want to achieve from today's masterclass? Maggie, those are two big ones. Thank you for sharing that. We are here to help, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So what are your biggest challenges? Susanna, welcome. Susanna is top dog. She's very good at metabolic health. She's a metabolic health practitioner. If you want any questions answered, please follow Susanna. She will give you all the answers. She's absolutely amazing. And we also have Zarika in the house. Zarika is our IT guru. Whenever I'm stuck with anything, I run down to her. We have Sal in the house. She's like my PA. She helps me sort things out. And then we have Sarah from our clinic as well, who helps us out. So any answers in the chat? Yes, CLL and bladder cancer, bereavement. Sorry to hear that. Khadija, pre-diabetes, Rahil Khan, Minty, how to sustain my weight, A1C, keep insulin levels in normal range. That is, you're in the right place. You know, I cannot even stress that enough. You're definitely in the right place. Okay, so so I'm going to hand over to Sal to just introduce me officially.
Unmute.
So unmute Sal.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. So I would like to introduce Dr. Grace Hula, who, as you all know, is fantastic at what she does. I'd also like to let you know that Dr. Grace is the founder of G&M Healthcare Limited and Medicine. She empowers individuals to transform their health with personalized, results-driven care. She has 20 years of experience, over 20 years of experience. Dr. Grace brings a wealth of expertise to her practice. She began her medical journey in Uganda, later earning a PhD in neuroscience in Sweden and completing her training as a general practitioner at the University of Sheffield in the UK. So, her career has included roles at prestigious institutions such as the Karolinska Institute, Huddinge Hospital in Stockholm, and the Universities of Bristol and Sheffield. I think this is just such an amazing career to have had and to still have. Dr. Grace's approach to medicine took a pivotal turn during her own personal health journey. While she was working on a diabetic ward, she was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. This life-changing event inspired her to research and implement lifestyle changes and weight loss strategies to reverse her condition. By successfully curing herself, she shifted her focus to addressing root causes of illness rather than simply managing the symptoms. Isn't that fantastic, you guys? I think that's fantastic. So today, Dr. Grace is a sought-after expert in functional medicine, weight loss management, and non-surgical aesthetic treatments. I mean, guys, can you imagine how long it takes to recover from surgery and all that? So the best way to do it is non-surgical aesthetic treatments. Dr. Grace specializes in helping individuals achieve lasting weight loss, improved health by addressing metabolic imbalances, creating tailored lifestyle plans, and providing compassionate, science-based care. So, in addition to operating clinics across the UK, Dr. Grace trains globally in advanced techniques and consults corporate clients on strategies to improve employee health and well-being. Her mission is to help people achieve optimum health, confidence, and quality of life by addressing the root causes of their health challenges, with a special focus on empowering individuals to regain control of their weight, health, and vitality. So guys, if you're ready to reset, rebalance, and restore your health, this is the place. Please welcome to the stage of our platform tonight, Dr. Grace Hula.
And Dr. C.
And Dr. C, all the way. Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Hi, guys. If you can turn on your cameras, it's just nice to be interactive and to see your faces, your beautiful faces. That would be really helpful. Thank you, Maggie. Nice to see your face. If you can't, that's fine. But if you can, it's just nice to have a lively discussion where we can see everybody's faces. Thank you. Thank you, iPad. Bobby in the house. Thank you, Molly. Molly, thank you for turning your camera on. Right, now the next set of questions before we kick in, just to keep people awake and thinking. What are the 5 biggest mistakes people make about their health? Any answers in the chat? 5 biggest mistakes people make about their health?
And possibly, if there are 5 biggest mistakes, does anyone know how we fix them?
Okay, I'll just start. One of them is when you have problems with your sleep or insomnia, you just keep going and ignore it. Sleep is vital. We reset our bodies. We heal during sleep. So if we're not sleeping 7 to 9 hours, we need to be thinking about something to do about that, to reverse that situation. Eating too much processed foods, that's another one. Too much sugar, too much carbs, and eating low fiber. Those are things that in the long run will also lead us into trouble. Not exercising enough. We need to be exercising regularly, going to the gym, maybe 3-4 times a week, and doing both resistance training and also doing cardio. Then another big one is stress. Stress is a silent killer, guys. 80 to 90% of diseases are stress related. So if we ignore stress, then we will be raising our levels of inflammation without realizing it. And before long, if this situation continues, you end up with an autoimmune disease or the big C in the long run.
Absolutely.
So it's so crucial to think about stress, sleep, tick, check every week. Where am I going wrong? Another one is gut health. The gut is your first port of everything. Everything you eat comes through the gut. That's where your energy is going to come from. Your nutrition is going to come from. If you don't have the nutrients that your body needs, then you're going to end up being malnourished, although you're eating or taking supplements. And we find in tests, as you will later see, we are adults. We don't even know that we are malnourished, but we are severely malnourished sometimes. So it's so important to not ignore the symptoms. When you have bloating, when you have diarrhea, constipation, any gut health issues, heartburn, don't sit on it. If you leave it long, that's what becomes chronic disease.
Even flatulence.
Yeah. So again, these are the things to think about. And one more thing, I'm just going to read about my own story about what led me further into exploring the functional root cause type of medicine. So I was working long hours in a busy clinic as a GP, that's a family physician, seeing patient after patient, and often with only 10 to 15 minutes for each appointment. My days were packed with back-to-back consultations, chatting late into the night, and feeling like I was constantly running on empty. It felt like I was running on autopilot, just prescribing meds, ordering tests, managing symptoms, but never getting to the root cause of problems. Patients would come back with the same issues, and I started to feel like I wasn't truly helping them. I never I'll never forget one patient who came to me in tears, floods of tears, frustrated by years of chronic fatigue and digestive issues. Despite all the tests I ordered, I couldn't give them real answers. I knew there had to be a better way, but I felt powerless in the system I was working in as a medical conventional medicine practitioner. So I started to feel trapped, like I was stuck in a system that prioritized quick fixes over true healing. So every day I questioned whether I was making a difference, and it was exhausting to feel like I wasn't living up to my purpose. One night, desperate for answers, I stumbled across a podcast about functional medicine, root cause medicine, and everything changed. They talked about healing the body as a whole, addressing the root causes of illness, and empowering patients to take control of their health. It was like I'd finally found the missing link that I had been looking for. That moment ignited something inside me, and I knew I had to learn more. I therefore went and did training, and I trained as a functional practitioner, diving deep into principles of root cause healing. And it wasn't an easy journey, but it was the most rewarding of my life. Mm-hmm. Now, several years later, I've helped hundreds of people transform their health. I've seen patients break free from chronic symptoms, regain their energy, and rediscover joy in their lives. So functional medicine not only gave me the tools to make a difference, it gave me my purpose back. And I finally feel like I'm living the reason I became a healthcare professional. So that's my story. I'm sure it's long, but for me, it's quite emotional. Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think we move on.
Do you know, everybody sometimes overlooks the fact that even if someone's a medical practitioner, they are still human. They are the human element, and this is what drives their passion and their power to heal. That's all I can say.
Any questions at this point? Any inputs? I am looking for my slide again. I found it.
I loved it very much, Dr. Grace, because, you know, it resonates with me very much, because as a doctor, it just frustrated me how many times we were just pushing patients on medications, and how many times I'd have to answer to hospital committees because they were getting frustrated with me because I was trying to look for natural ways to heal these patients.
Yeah.
Your story is absolutely inspiring, and it's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I think most of us who end up doing root cause medicine, it's because we are frustrated with the system. And sometimes it's because we have our own personal stories as well. And then, of course, we see the suffering in patients, and we're not just able to do anything about it. But when we move outside that box, we're then able to see like amazing results. And it's a much more fulfilling career than just doing the norm.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, just writing those scripts. Yes.
I know, honestly, thousands all day long, medication. Exactly. And they come back the following year requiring higher doses of the same medications. Yep. And it's like, we are actually killing them. We're killing patients.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we took an oath to do no harm, and here we are. They're making us do the harm.
Exactly. So I am just, when I found functional medicine, that was it. Okay, I think we've done my bio. And let's move on.
That's just so amazing. I mean, the testimonials from two great medical practitioners. I mean, we can't argue with that. Both of you have such a passion, and thank you so much for that.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about, I'll start with functional medicine, and then Dr. C in the end is going to talk about metabolic health. And people stay to the end. You don't want to miss that. Mm-hmm. Even I am so looking forward to his talk.
Me too.
So as a catalyst in the transformation of healthcare, functional medicine treats the root causes of diseases and restores healthy function through a personalized patient experience. Okay, my thing is playing up. So what's the difference between conventional medicine and functional medicine? So conventional medicine is like what we have with the NHS or the normal government-run practices or private practices. And functional medicine is usually at the moment private because we're trying to break through and bridge the gap between the hospital medicine and prevention. So conventional medicine is mainly disease-oriented. So you have to have a disease, and then they will look at symptoms, and the doctor will decide what to do, and everybody's given the same prescription. If you're type 2 diabetic, everybody will first start on metformin. If you have high blood pressure, you'll first start on amlodipine or the same type of medication. And in functional medicine, we are looking, it's a patient-centered, holistic care. So it's a personalized program. And the way we personalize it is by doing cutting-edge scientific tests that tell us how your body is working at a cellular and molecular level. So when you know what's working inside and what's not working inside, usually high levels of inflammation, autoimmune conditions starting to form, nutritional deficiencies, your genetics as well might be against you. Once we know all this information, we can then put the picture together and come up with a plan to either prevent chronic diseases from developing or reverse most chronic diseases. So that is a mission that is totally achievable with functional medicine. So how are we managing? What chronic diseases are we managing? You'll be surprised. There's a whole list of chronic illnesses that can't be reversed and are usually caused by our lifestyle, things we can change, things that are within our means, like chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, chronic pain, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure. Okay, somebody's probably needing to mute themselves. Thank you. Irritable bowel, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, arthritis, even menopause, andropause for men, all those conditions can be managed and improved by improving your functional health. So, as I said, we do cutting-edge scientific tests, and these tests are a full range of blood tests, some of which your normal doctor won't do, like your insulin levels, your inflammatory markers. So we do like 36 different bloods. It's a whole panel. And then we do a complete comprehensive stool analysis to check how your gut is working. I'm going to show you the results after this of patients who've had their tests done. And it's quite mind-blowing. There's no other way I can put it. You have epigenetics to check DNA health, DNA diet, DNA mind, DNA baby spots. So you can pick things up from what we've inherited. Then the organic urine acid urine test checks your amino acid levels, vitamins, neurotransmitters, energy levels, oxidative stress, and detoxification. And then we have a complete hormone profile for both men and women, and that's called the Dutch test. So, okay.
So I would like to know, Dr. Grace, like with everybody watching today, what is the number one thing that they'd like to achieve from today's masterclass?
Okay, so you can just type that down to break it up a bit, because otherwise when I'm talking full time, it feels like it's easy to just drift off as well. So has anybody any thoughts about what their biggest problems are? Sarah says, is stress linked to digestion? Oh yes, totally. And we'll come through to that as well. So, okay, this is one case study of a hormone test that we did. Okay. And this test shows a patient who had high levels of stress. We said stress in the big blue line. So the big blue line, normal stress is the lower limit and the high range. but this person had like really high levels of stress. And after going on the program, after 3 months, you can see in the second part that the stress has gone down, or at least started to go down. The knock-on effect was that this particular case study, the patient was trying to actually conceive and get pregnant. And once the stress levels corrected, within just 3 months, she managed to successfully conceive and now has a baby and a happy life. So stress, think stress. It's so easy to ignore it. So this is another case study. And this one tells us the results of a stool test. So in this stool test, this patient went to the normal NHS, as you can see, and the results said calprotectin, which is an inflammatory marker, was negative. However, when we did our stool tests, it showed that this patient had high levels of inflammatory markers, both calprotectin and lysozyme. So it's a case of sensitivities. So the NHS will, of course, go for the cheaper tests, while we are doing more advanced testing, and we can pick up things way before they become major problems. And in the yellow ones, you can see you have like the short chain fatty acids. These help the lining of your wall, and you can see they're starting to go yellow, which means they're starting to get abnormal results. This is a stool study result. As you can see, everybody's result is different. I brought this on to show you that 2 people will have totally different results. You can see in the green part, those are the good bacteria. The yellow part, those are the commensal or bad bacteria. And in the pink part, those are the dangerous ones, which if you find them, you need to get rid of them. You can see this slide, the patient has the dangerous bacteria, and in the other side, they don't. The second one also has candida, which is a yeast. And all the yeast, the pink, the yellow, they take over from the good ones. The good bacteria help us with our digestion, with making our vitamins, and with making neurotransmitters, protecting our immune system, protecting the lining of our gut. The bad bacteria try and disrupt them from doing all these things. So we need to ensure we have a good balance of bacteria. Otherwise, in the long run, you get a condition called leaky gut.
Mm.
So this is a urine test. I love this test because it shows you your nutritional deficiencies. And again, 2 people are never the same. So in the first one, you can see still really deficient in everything. And patients always tell me, I'm taking supplements, I should be fine. And then I do their tests and they're nutritionally deficient. Can someone guess why? Please, in the chat, why do you think people are nutritionally deficient, although they're eating food?
Because our food is processed.
Yeah.
Most of our food.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So the gut is not working well. The gut is not absorbing the foods they're eating. They're taking supplements, but the bad bacteria are preventing absorption of food.
Mm-hmm.
So the first port of call is to sort out the gut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can see this person is deficient in vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, alpha lipoic acid, CoQ10, glutathione, all the B vitamins, magnesium, manganese, molybdenum, and zinc, omega-3 fatty acids, everything. No wonder they feel chronically tired, no energy. No wonder they cannot lose weight, although they're nutritionally deficient. So if you don't know what's happening at this level, you won't be able to. That's why the conventional medicine is unable to solve some of these problems, because they are not able to provide the nutrients that the patient needs to get better. Your body needs these nutrients to work well. Your mitochondria, your heart, your lungs, all the systems in your body need energy. If you don't have food to give them, that's why you feel tired. That's why you can't sleep. That's why you're stressed, and your stress is exaggerated. So this is another case study of another hormone test. As you can see, initially there was red in the estrogens. You can see the red ones, and just after 3 months, they became back to green. Wow. So I just absolutely love these results, because it tells us what makes the different hormones. So you see up here, you have a hormone called pregnenolone, and it makes DHEA. DHEA will make your testosterone, and it will also contribute to making your estrogen and progesterone. And sometimes, if your enzyme is not working well, testosterone can then convert into estrogen. So although you're a man, that's how you end up with man boobs. Oh. Because your enzymes, your body is not working well, you don't have the nutrients that it needs. So I'm just showing you the importance of doing these tests. And now I'm going to move on to gut health. And always prioritize gut health. Okay, I've just missed a slide. So your gut, the importance and the wide impact of your gut. It affects your mental health. There's a mental health connection. It's always called your second brain. Although in real life, long time ago, your gut was there before your brain. So actually, who came first? The gut came first. Although now we call it the second brain, it was initially the first brain. So your gut bacteria produce neurotransmitters. This affects your mood and your cognitive function. 90% of your serotonin is produced in the gut. 70% of your dopamine is produced in the gut. So weight management, your gut microbiome can influence weight by affecting your metabolism and your appetite regulation. Again, we're going to hear a lot about that later on. Your energy system, again, the good bacteria in your gut, they make the microbiome. Microbiome is a collection of different bacteria, viruses, yeasts, but they're good ones and they're bad ones. They're like about 400 trillion of them. So there are more bacteria in our body than our own human cells. So you wonder, who are we? Are we bacteria? Because they're the ones running us. So we think we are great, but we're actually being run by bacteria and other microorganisms, protozoa, the little organisms. Skin, again, your gut and your skin are related. Your skin is an extension, your skin is an extension of your gut. Embryologically, your skin and your gut grew up together as part of the same system. So a healthy gut flora will alleviate some symptoms of skin conditions like eczema and acne. And then you have the immune system. 70% of your immune system is based in the gut. So a balanced gut microbiome, the bacteria, they support a strong immune response. So they protect against bad pathogens, that is bacteria. Wow. So now comes to some of the big gut issues that we probably don't think much about. And again, this is what are the 5 mistakes or even 10 that we make. How often do you do a number 2? Is anyone brave enough to report? If not, just take note of it. What do you think should be the right answer? How many times should you do your number 2? Once a day, once a week? I meet people who say, I only go to the toilet twice a week. That is constipation. So you're supposed to go to the toilet according to the number of meals you eat in a day. If you have 2 meals a day, you should really ideally be going to the toilet twice a day. So if you only go every other day, you're definitely quite constipated. After each meal, Zorika, spot on. Once a day, we'll accept that. 1 to 2 times a day, Susanna, you're doing well. Not every day, once or twice a week. So we'll have to look into something to change that. So you're in the right place. Yeah. Okay. So my slides are misbehaving. So this is called a Bristol stool chart, and it shows the different types of poops. Number one is constipation, hard lumps, small pebbles. Number two, lumpy, hard, and sausage-shaped, still constipation. Number three, sausage-shaped with cracks along the surface. That's a good stool. Number four is the best stool. It resembles a thin sausage, or it looks like a snake. Number five, you're going to the soft edge, moving into diarrhea. Number six, definitely diarrhea. Number seven, extremely diarrhea. So every day, please examine your stool. Are you type 3, type 4? If you're type 2, type 1. If you're constipated, your gut is not working well. If your gut is not working well, the stool becomes toxin in your gut, and that spreads around, and that in the end can cause high levels of inflammation. High levels of inflammation can turn into various autoimmune diseases like thyroid, Graves, Hashimoto's. All those diseases tend to stem from a bad gut. So it might seem like a small problem, but with time you wonder, why did I get that thyroid disease? Mm-hmm. So very, very important to just watch what your poop looks like every morning. Doesn't seem pleasant, but it's a necessity. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to break it a bit, and we're going to do a toxic load inflammation assessment. And this is where you're going to fill in a form to find out how your gut, the state of your gut. Zorika has kindly posted it for us. Just click on it. It will take you about 5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes for most people. And after 5 minutes, we'll come back and just please keep your scores or post them in the chats, because once you close the form, we will not receive the scores. So click on the link in the chat and just fill in. If you're brave enough, please post it in the chat, your result. If not, keep it to yourself, but write the number down or take a screenshot. I wish I had some music to play in the background.
Have you got an Alexa?
Yeah, it would be too loud.
You can put the volume down.
Okay. Is anyone struggling with filling in their forms? Should be pretty much straightforward.
Some of us go right back with the year of birth. Back.
Whatever the number is, at least you know where the state of your gut, what your gut is doing.
Mm.
The link is not opening for Rhea. Rika, any suggestions? Sometimes if you copy it and paste it into your notes, or then it opens up better. And the link is not opening. Anyone else struggling with their links?
Quite good on this.
Yeah. So anyone ready? Just post your results or take notes. If you do not feel confident to share, that's fine too.
I'm just laughing at her my face.
I think most people, it's working for most people. Are you filling in yourself?
Yes, I'm filling it in as I'm going.
Okay.
I'm on number 50. It's quite a long one. It says, have I experienced underweight? I thought, no, I wish.
Just fill in.
Okay.
Darlene, well done. OMG. Oh my gosh. Thank you for sharing. Exactly. Imagine if you were not on the feel great system. It would be worse, right? 52 MJ, 104 Minty, 52 Maggie, yeah, anxiety will drive the score up. We're going to talk about stress and the gut as well. Anxiety and stress are just silent. They affect us without, although it's mental, it affects our physical bodies without us realizing until, things start to really go wrong. I will give you the answers. Let's see more answers.
It says minus 20.
20? Post it in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, 20. Right. I'm gonna move on. For those, pardon, shall I give you more time?
Yeah.
No,
Okay, I'll give you more time. Must be my phone. Oh, I need to send a message to Zorika, or send a message to Zorika.
Okay.
I can't see the results page.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any more answers? 12, 8.
Dr. Susanna, she's 48. No, bien. Dr. Two grades, I'm sure it'd be in the hundreds. But it will be extremely high.
Okay. 48, no bueno. Yeah, without the field grade system, I know there would be trouble. Okay, guys, let's move on. Let me see. My slides are playing up slightly. I'm hoping. No, sorry, this is not the one. Not the one. Okay, this is the score analysis. So if you scored 0 to 10, excellent. If you scored 10 to 30, you're okay, but you need some work. 30 to 50, your toxic load and inflammation are rising. 50 to 75, you have a high toxic load and high level of inflammation. Anyone about 75, you have chronic high toxic load and inflammation. You need to really be booking an appointment to have your gut test done and to be looked at properly to avoid or reverse any conditions that are coming up. Anyone 50 to 75 and above, I would probably be looking for a consultation because it means things will need to be reversed as soon as possible before they either become thyroid disease or other autoimmune diseases and heart diseases. So your health needs really serious looking at. Okay, yeah, I know the form is long, but at least we got the answers. Okay, so if you got 0 to 10, your gut is good, but we would still recommend there's some supplements and lifestyle changes that you can make, like the full grade system, some supplements you can take, look at oral health, and that will help. If you scored 11 to 30, you're a work in progress, and you would need what's called a gut foundation bundle. If you're struggling, 31 to 50, that is high. Anywhere between 51 to 121, just book a consultation. Things have gone quite bad. You can't see the screen.
Oh yeah, because it's on questions. It's on the results. Looks.
Is that better?
No, look, looks like that.
Is that better now? You should be able to see it now.
Yes, you can see it now.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So these are the results. 0 to 10, you're good. 11 to 30, your work in progress. Lifestyle, look at your lifestyle. Struggling, 31 to 50, you probably need immune support. If you're constipated, Imodin is good for diarrhea. Zonulin is good for leaky gut. So those are supplements that you could start taking. However, if you scored 51 to 121, you have gut distress, and you really need to be booking a consultation. Yeah, we need to fix your gut, basically. Thank you, Dr. C. Okay, let's move on. Where do we start? This is where the gut and stress are quite related, as you will see. So you're stressed, your gut and your brain are in constant communication. This slide is not very good, but it gives you a gist of what's happening, how the gut brain regulate of this diagram, that's someone with normal stress. In the orange part of the diagram, that's somebody with acute stress. So once you've had acute stress over a period of time, eventually your adrenal glands, which produce cortisol, collapse and go into adrenal fatigue because they can't keep up with the production of cortisol. Mm-hmm. So you end up with the lower end of the curve. And over the years, you think it's normal, but it's not. And those are some of the things that end up leading to chronic health conditions. Mm-hmm. And this is another system showing your nervous system. You have the rest and digest, which is the parasympathetic system. You have the fight and the flight, which is your nervous, sympathetic nervous system. Mm-hmm. You can see they're in constant touch with different parts of your internal organs. So stress can really upset your tummy, it will upset your heart rhythm, it will upset the way your gut works, the way your lungs work, and vice versa. So if you have too much stress, you will end up stimulating the sympathetic nervous system. That's pouring adrenaline in, and with time, it will crash and lead to adrenal fatigue. So the two systems are completely linked. There is also a stress questionnaire, but I'll probably come back to that later. But the stress questionnaire would reveal different types of stress for different types of people. So type yes if you want to do it now, or we can deal with this later.
Economically frustrated. Let's dig for the numbers here.
Do you want to do the stress questionnaire now? I think it's too soon. Maybe we first crack on and we can do it later on. Yeah, because I think we're still absorbing the shock of the gut health results. We don't want to be dealing with stress again. So I will jump over that. And then this is the first part of the gut. Wow. And with this, I'd like to do a quick poll. So the gut consists of the mouth, the esophagus, the stomach, small intestines, and the large intestines. What do you think is the most important part of the gut? Let's vote.
Missing one paycheck or even having a paycheck missing.
Somebody please mute.
Right.
Sarika, are you able to mute them? So let's do a quick poll. What do you think is the most important part of the gut? Is it the stomach? Is it the intestine? Is it the mouth? Is it
mouth? I think the mouth, the throat.
Mouth. Yeah. Okay, good. Stomach. Any other suggestions? So studies have shown people who participate actively remember like 70 to 80% of whatever talks they're in. If you just write it down or just listen, maybe you'll retain 30%. But if you actually actively participate, then you're able to retain more information. So let's get typing, guys. Stomach seems to be the winner. However, I am sorry to disappoint you. The most important part of the gut is your mouth. Look at this picture. There's everything wrong with it. From this picture, you can tell that the gut, the stomach, the intestines, they're not working well. By the time you have all these plaques and all these rotting teeth and residing gums, something is seriously wrong. So your mouth has its own microbiome, a group of bacteria that need to keep it healthy. So if you're in a state like this, it means that your gut microbiome is not working well. So the oral microbiome has more than 700 species of bacteria. You have the good bacteria, and you need to keep up that good bacteria health. And we'll show you how you can do that. So most times you think your mouth is just part of its own thing, but it's not. So here comes another quiz. This is a tongue, and what do you look for in your tongue? You look at the size, you look at scalloping, you look at the color, you look at the coating, you look at fissuring, you look at lesions. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to give you a challenge. Can you take a picture of your tongue? And if you're brave enough, you can share it. If you're not brave enough, just keep it to yourself. As we go along, you'll be able to decide what state your tongue is in. So what is scalloping? Scalloping, if you look at the borders of the tongue, the little ridges on the side, those are scalloping. And stress is actually quite a big cause of scalloping. So the little indentations at the side of the tongue, those are scalloping. So several reasons for it, but stress is one of the biggest reasons for scalloping. Color. Look at your tongues. What color is your tongue? Is it white? Is it dark? Does it have patches? All those are indicators of bad oral health and general health, actually. If you have bad oral health, that affects the rest of your gut and that affects the rest of your body. What we think about in root cause medicine is that all our internal systems are related. They're not isolated. One part of the body is not working well, it makes sense that this will affect the other parts of the body because they're either overcompensating or they're trying to rearrange themselves to try and help that side which is not working well. So then you have the coating on the tongue. Again, it can be for several reasons. It might be fungus, yeast. It might be bacteria. So look at your tongues and decide for yourselves, what is the state of my tongue? Is my tongue in a good state? Is my tongue in a bad state? If you had a midline fissure, that's also a sign that your tongue is not working well. In the first one, where it's pale with the lines going away from the midline, that's usually a sign that something is not right with your immune system in the gut. And the deep lines, they're all associated with different medical conditions. Okay. So 3 common oral mistakes we make. When did you last see a dentist? Oh yeah, Sal, you posted your tongue. Thank you. We shall examine it later. So when did you last see a dentist? Do you use traditional toothpaste? Do you use traditional mouthwashes? So those are the questions, some questions that we're going to look into today. You need to see your dentist at least once a year, preferably maybe twice a year, because your mouth is dynamic. So how do you build an optimal oral health stack? You can do biofilm control. Biofilm control, you have organic oils like maybe coconut oil, and you just take half a teaspoon or a teaspoon or even 2 teaspoons, put the oil in your mouth and just swish, but do not swallow it because it's going to bind your dead bacteria, the bad bacteria. And if you swallow that, that's just going into your stomach to cause trouble. So you swish it ideally for 10 minutes. You can start with 5 minutes and then move to 10 and then 15 because you're cleansing your mouth. That's with the oil pulling, by the way. The biofilm control, just keep your daily mouth hygiene going so that you don't have coatings and things that interfere with the functioning of your tongue. Always floss, and then use a functional toothpaste and a good toothbrush, and try and have dental checkups. So this is your oral stack and how it should look. You can use a binder. A binder will bind the bad bacteria and leave the good bacteria. You can use an electric toothbrush. You need to do organic flossing, herbal mouthwash. These are good brands which do not contain fluoride. Fluoride, we use it as a given, but it has its toxic elements. So if you can avoid using fluoride, you're doing yourself a service. So we're back to another important part of the gut, which is now the stomach. I will look for this picture. Where is it? Of the stomach. Oh, God. Okay, that's the one. This is your stomach health. Okay. Anybody knows what the ideal stomach pH should be? Oh, thank you for sharing Sarah's iPhone. That looks like a good, nice colored tongue. Okay, so stomach health. What do you think your stomach acidity should be from 1 to 10?
5.
Okay, good guess. Maggie, 6. That was Maureen, I think, said 5. 7, 2, 8. Okay, the answer is actually 1 to 2.
Oh,
yeah. You need an acidic stomach environment because that helps with digestion of food, killing bad bacteria, and help to build your sphincters. If you look at the upper end of the stomach where the tube is, that's where your sphincters are. You need a good acidity level for the sphincter to stay closed. When people start to get heartburn or gastritis, it's because their stomach acidity is high. So, sorry guys. I think I need to restart this.
How would you avoid stomach acidity just off the bat?
That's what we're coming to. So you need a high stomach pH, 1.5 to 2 ideally, for the sphincter to close properly. So if your pH is like 4 or 5, then that's when you start to get reflux symptoms and heartburn, because this sphincter is not closing well. So yeah, when your acidity, when you have high acidity, stomach acidity, it helps the sphincter to close. So the sphincter is this tube coming out of the upper part of the stomach. So normally when you get reflux, it's because stomach acidity is high, like it's more alkaline. So like neutral is 7, above 7, you just a stomach acidity of 5, you will start to get acid reflux. So that's why it's important to look at lifestyle and try and maintain, it helps to maintain your stomach acidity. Okay, so this patient, the skin, the gut are related. The pink on the cheeks, that's usually rosacea. This person probably has bloating, gas, indigestion, heartburn, burping, nausea, or some kind of GI symptoms, but they'll probably look more at the rosacea, because when they look at the rosacea, that's what they see. But that's a sign that your gut is not working well. When your stomach acid is high, meaning pH, yes, pH. So, well, pH needs to be low for you to get high stomach acidity. Let me look at the charts. Sorry, I hadn't been looking. Yeah, GERD too, yes. Okay. So that's that. So how can we improve our stomach acidity? This is a very good protocol for improving your stomach acidity to become more acidic. So you can make this concoction and have it through the day. It's made from apple cider vinegar, organic, lemon juice, ginger juice, essential amino acids, and active amino acids. So this concoction you can have every day. It helps restore your stomach acidity, while also the ginger helps to heal the gut. We have the recipe for it. We can always post it later on.
If anybody wants the recipe, please just put it in the
just
chat.
message us and we'll put it in the chat. So another hack is to remove gut toxins. So the binders can help remove, high fiber will help to remove gut toxins. So the supplements that we have that contain high fiber and they help. Zorika, do you have the recipe for the apple cider vinegar? We could post that in the group. I have it. I can send it to you now.
Zorika said she'll share it.
Yeah, Zorika will share it. She has the recipe. So how do we remove gut toxins? We use high fiber or binders. So you can either buy the binders commercially or eat high fiber foods like the Feel Great system, which I don't want to steal the story from Dr. C. He's going to talk about it. One of the products is high in fiber. Balance is high in fiber. That would help remove toxins from your gut. So there's another commercial one, Fiber Absorb, or you can buy inulin, you can buy guar. All those are high in fiber and they can help remove gut toxins. This is another drink that you can make, like a smoothie. And in this smoothie, you can have like the super berries, the super greens. You can add in vitamin C. You can add in the amino complex. All this help reduce inflammation while boosting your immune system. So there are things you can do yourself at home that would help boost your immune system. And then a big one is to try and eat anti-inflammatory foods that do not cause a lot. Yeah, balance has been incredibly helpful. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, okay, thank you. So anti-inflammatory foods are extremely good because this is the list. You can screenshot or we can share it as well. And this will help give you that balance that you need. Good nutrition, basically. So try and make your own foods from these anti-inflammatory foods. And if you see any signs, some are high in histamine, some are high in fermented foods, nightshades. So try and pick what you're not sensitive to. But generally, if your gut is working well, that solves your food sensitivity problems as well. I've just treated a child, a 10-year-old, who was suffering from severe allergies and was on cetirizine for about 4 years. But when he went on the gut protocol, after 3 months, he's totally off cetirizine. He can tolerate most foods now, which he wasn't able to tolerate before. So it's all achievable.
So these are
other supplements that you can take to heal the gut. So you have gut balance, IgG. Am I echoing?
Just slightly.
Yeah, and a probiotic. So probiotic, get a good probiotic. Probio Daily is a very good probiotic. IgGY is a very good immunoglobulin. And gut balance contains that hydrochloric acid with the digestive enzymes, which is also really good for the gut. So jump over that. And at the end of this, I've come to the end of my talk, and I will leave you with an important message. If this is you, do you wake up tired no matter how much you sleep? Does your body feel stiff, achy, inflamed? You're losing weight feels impossible and digestion is a daily struggle. Stress, anxiety, sleepless nights leave you feeling stuck. Menopause or hormonal shifts are throwing your body out of balance. And the life you deserve, which Dr. C is going to talk about, is you deserve this: to wake up feeling refreshed, full of energy, moving freely without pain or stiffness, maintaining your ideal weight without crash diets, sleeping deeply and waking up clear-headed, feeling calm, focused, and in control of your body at every stage of life. This life is possible, and I want it to start today, because most times we put everything else ahead of us except our health. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. And I would love to hand you over to the very knowledgeable Dr. C. Dr. C, you're most welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Grace. Thank you. I'm very humbled. I'm very honored to be on this webinar with you. Thank you for bringing me on. Everybody, honestly, Dr. Grace, she is amazing. Okay, the insights that she's given in this presentation, I hope that all of you absorbed them. There were actual gold nuggets in this presentation. As I was listening to the whole thing, I don't know if you guys were catching my facial expressions, but there's many times where I was like, okay, yes, very good. Oh my God, we're going in deep now. And so all of those gold nuggets are very essential, because that type of information is not available to the public regularly, okay? The medical establishment is not providing that information. And Dr. Grace is actually doing a great service by educating you guys. The more knowledge you have, the better decisions you are going to make. The more knowledge you have, the more you're going to be able to take control of your health. And Dr. Grace, honestly, today's presentation, I was blown away. I mean, I was taking notes because I was like, oh my God, that's a gold nugget. That's a gold nugget, right? I was loving it. I was absolutely enjoying it. I mean, Susanna knows how much I geek out on this sort of stuff. And I absolutely loved it. Thank you so much for sharing all that information with people, because there was, and especially diving in deep into explaining the different tests and everything. And that's one thing that frustrates me so much, is that patient education was so important.
Dr. C.
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Yeah, so I've removed the screen so that we can see you. And later on, let me know when you want the slides back on.
Okay. All right. Okay. No problem. No, but it was...
Because I think you're so great. Yeah.
I think you're so great.
Video? What?
All right.
I thought that was okay to put in a container.
I think somebody else is talking. That's why I got confused. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for having me on, Dr. Grace. You know, it's a great honor to work with you, right? I really do appreciate this. Loved this presentation. People, honestly, there's gold nuggets in here. I hope you guys were taking notes, because there are essential points that were brought up in this presentation that really truly emphasize the point that the public has been very much misguided and not being able to truly understand their health and where it stems from. And the fact that Dr. Grace even touched on the point of that one pediatric patient whose allergies were able to be reversed. I've experienced that myself as a child, where I was fortunate enough to come across, a pediatrician who was he was not trained in functional medicine, but was definitely going along those lines, because he dealt into my gut health, nutrition, and what was lacking. And with that alone, he was able to reverse my allergies, which other physicians were telling me that I was going to be on pharmaceuticals for the rest of my life. There was no escape from it. And here I am today without those allergies. So when Dr. Grace even touched on that story, that resonated with me because of my personal experience from childhood, right? And so having said that, let's dive in, because I don't want to keep you people around for too long, because you guys know when I talk, I just start talking. Okay. All right. Okay. So my name is Dr. C. I'm Chief of Metabolic Health with Surgical Center for Obesity and Diabetes. Thank you so much, Dr. Grace, for having me on. It's a great honor to be here with you. Love working with you, love collaborating. This is amazing. Okay. And now, having said that, what are we faced with? Many of the things that Dr. Grace has already touched on has brought spotlight to the point where your metabolic health is at the center of everything, because your metabolic health, your gut health, is the gateway to the rest of your body. You see, when we talk about metabolism, what is metabolism on the most basic level? It's simply bringing food from the outside and taking it inside and making it a part of our body. But what kind of food are we ingesting? That's the issue. And with the modern food environment, what they have literally done is they have changed our food. And it lacks nutrition. It no longer has nutrition that should have been there. But also they have removed fiber from our diet. And because of that, when they did an actual study globally on the biodiversity of people's gut microbiome, they found that people in industrialized countries had the least biodiversity in their gut microbiome. And what many do not understand is the gut microbiome, as Dr. Grace had already mentioned, that and I love the fact that you went into that. You were like, there's different bacteria, there's different viruses, there's different, other components involved. Because the thing is, there are good bacteria and there are good viruses, and then there is bad bacteria and there are bad viruses. There's actually an epic battle going on in your gut microbiome at all times, right? You could even think of it as, like Homer's Iliad, okay? It's literally an epic story going on, and it's an entire universe that exists within your gut microbiome. And there is a direct neural connection between your brain and your gut. And I loved when you brought in embryology into this, because when you mentioned the fact that your gut was actually your first brain, you're absolutely right. Talking from an embryological, standpoint. Yes, your gut is the actual first thing to be created when the human is being created. Okay, and so when we're talking about embryology, the gut is what is actually created first, and that is actually, as Dr. Grace so accurately pointed out, that is actually your first brain. And what we have been conditioned to think is that this is our brain, and we all ignore the gut. We all ignore our metabolic health. And that is where your health issues are stemming from. The sheer fact, right? Am I still connected?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me. Okay. I was worried. I was like, did I just lose everybody? And I'm just talking to space. All right. Okay. So the sheer fact that when we look at the top 10 global causes of disease-related deaths, number one is heart disease. And when you go through the list, you also have dementia, diabetes. All top 10 causes of disease-related deaths globally are directly linked to insulin resistance. And insulin resistance is directly linked to your gut health. That is the sheer fact, because the fact is this. When we look at the gut microbiome, what is the damage that has been done to us? A modern food environment has removed all the fiber from our foods. And because of that, the gut microbiome, what is the food that is required for those gut bacteria and those various different gut microbes? It is fiber. Fiber is their food. And when you do not nourish the gut microbiome is going to suffer. And if the gut microbiome suffers, you will suffer, because they do a number of different processes. Certain gut bacteria, certain gut microbes, certain good viruses, they all have roles to play. Some of them are defending your health, because the number 6 global cause of disease-related deaths, the number 6th one, that's lower respiratory infections. That has to do with your immune system, right? And as Dr. Grace had already mentioned, your immune system is also tied into your gut health, okay? So these different microbes, these different gut bacteria, they're defending you from parasites, pathogens, bad viruses, bad bacteria. They're not just doing that. They are also nourishing your mental health, because as Dr. Grace has already mentioned, the neurotransmitters, the majority of them are actually being produced in your gut microbiome. On top of that, they are breaking down nutrients, making them readily available to you so that they're easily absorbed and incorporated into your body. And if they're not functioning properly, your body begins to lack nutrition. Your body is not absorbing the full potential from your food the way it should be. And then on top of that, when the gut bacteria are starving and they're not provided with the fiber that they require, There's a beautiful mucin lining that is lining your gut. And that is a semi-permeable lining. It allows for nutrients to enter, but it keeps the gut bacteria where it should be, which is in your gut. Okay? Which is in your gut. Now, when they are not given the fiber that they require for nourishment, those gut bacteria need to survive. So they begin to eat away at the mucin lining. And when they eat away at the mucin lining, they not only initiate an inflammatory reaction from the body's defense mechanisms. I'm trying to go down to the most basic to make it easy to understand. Right. But then by destroying the mucin lining, you have the development of leaky gut syndrome. And in leaky gut syndrome, you have autoimmune issues, celiac disease, gluten insensitivity, late onset lactose intolerance, right? Irritable bowel syndrome, and so much more. So much is just tied into your gut. If you have a healthy gut, everything is fixed. Your body starts to function optimally. Now, having said that, my personal story was this. I was running the ketamine clinic. I was in charge of the ketamine clinic. I was, overseeing the whole operation, and my health was deteriorating. While I was saving lives, my own health was falling apart. I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, pre-diabetic, inflammation throughout my body, joint pains. I was walking like a man who is 98 years old, okay? And the reason why I'm saying 98 is because as I'm seeing people's health improve as they're going on the Feel Great system, I'm seeing older and older patients, starting to walk better, starting to exercise. So I'm like, okay, let's raise the bar now. 98-year-old, okay? So I was walking like a 98-year-old man. And I did not want to go on pharmaceutical medications. Because the fact is, pharmaceutical medications, they only treat the symptoms. They do not treat the root cause. And once you're on the pharmaceutical medications, you are dependent on them. Dependent. That's not healthcare. That is not healthcare. That is not health. Because health is actually when you are able to function without the medications, all right? So yes, thank you. So this is my slide. So on the left, you see I was 240 pounds, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, pre-diabetic, inflammation, joint pains throughout my body, and I had developed mild depression and anxiety secondary to my health conditions. Actually, secondary to an unhealthy gut. And in the span of 3.5 months, with two natural products, which is the Feel Great system, two natural products, one of them being Unamate and the other one being Balance. I was able to reverse all of my health issues. I went from a weight of 240 pounds to 180, no longer have high blood pressure, no longer have high cholesterol, no longer pre-diabetic, no longer have inflammation and joint pains throughout my body. Nothing, everything, all biomarkers normal. That's how it's changed my life. The fact is that, is it your fault? No, it's not. If you have health conditions, it is not your fault. The fact is you have been kept in the dark, and patient education used to be so important. Preventative medicine used to be so important. But now they've been pushed to the side. And that is why people like Dr. Grace are leading the charge now, because becoming a functional medicine doctor, I was so impressed when I learned about her biography and her choices and how she moved into functional medicine, because this is really what medicine was supposed to be, to understand the body as a whole. You see, people, when one part of your body is affected, everything gets affected. And when your gut is affected, your whole system goes out of whack. You lose hormonal balance. You lose proper functioning of other neurotransmitters. You lose functioning of receptors. Nothing works properly. And it just becomes a chain reaction of one health condition and then another health condition and then another health condition. Of the Feel Great system, it comprises of two products. The first product on the top is Unamate. Unamate is a yerba mate extract. It is a yerba mate extract. Comes from a plant. The yerba mate plant actually grows in South America and has been used for thousands of years by the First Nations there for its medicinal benefits. And it is also referred to as the drink of the gods because the plant itself contains almost every single nutrient that is required to sustain human life. It is absolutely fascinating. All right. Now, having said that, this is an extract, and unlike the yerba mate that is sold out on the market, those are leaves and shrubs. And the problem with that is that they are not purified. So they can contain pesticides, contaminants, and even carcinogens because of the way that those teas have been prepared. This is an extract. So that goes through a 5-step patented process of purification. And they take out all the medicinal metabolites. And what are those medicinal metabolites? Chlorogenic acid. What is chlorogenic acid? Chlorogenic acid is the medicinal component that gives coffee its health benefits. And this product has 10 times more chlorogenic acid than a cup of coffee, but 375 times more chlorogenic acid than any yerba mate on the market. Chlorogenic acid will remove brain fog. So you have the brain fog, you're not functioning properly, you can't think straight, you can't focus, you have memory issues, declining cognitive function, you're having a hard time learning things, you've got brain fog. You walk into a room, you can't remember something, you've got brain fog. This chlorogenic acid removes brain fog along with theobromine, which is a xanthine. They increase focus, memory, concentration. It increases fat metabolism. It increases your basal metabolic rate. But on top of that, chlorogenic acid will also increase your glutathione levels. So if you have issues with your liver, you have liver toxicity, you need your liver to heal, you need to detoxify the liver, this will do that and more. On top of that, the chlorogenic acid activates the AMPK pathway. What is the AMPK pathway? That is the adenosine monophosphate protein kinase pathway. It's a long name. That's why they put it into abbreviation AMPK. There's several benefits of the AMPK, but 2 key benefits I want to stress on is the fact that when you are ingesting food turns into glucose. And many times when our gut health is not healthy, that glucose will be stored. I'm going to be coming to this graph in just a sec, so just keep it up. It's perfect. It's perfect. All right? What you call the AMPK pathway does not allow for your glucose to be stored as fat, but pushes it towards the rest of your mitochondria so that it gets converted from glucose into ATP, which is the chemical form of energy in your body. But not just that. Autophagy. Autophagy is a state after fasting. If you do an intermittent fast for 16 hours, at the 13th, 14th hour, your body enters a state of autophagy. And autophagy is when the body actually starts to heal itself. You see, the human body is an amazing machine. And if you give it the right tools, the right nutrition, you eat the correct way, you eat in intervals that are, the correct intervals to eat at, and you're not overstuffing yourself the way the modern food environment wants us to have 3 meals a day and snacky in between. Right? Stay away from those snacks, okay? The snacky is the bad part. No snacky, okay?
No snacky,
right?
snacky. Amen.
No snacky.
I
And
love
so,
it.
right? So when your body enters a state of autophagy, it's absolutely fascinating that the body actually goes through a self-reboot. It actually starts to take away all of the junk and the garbage that has accumulated over the years from the modern food environment. And so it will start to clean the gut microbiome. It will start to heal the gut microbiome. It will literally start to bring your hormones into balance. It will remove dead cells from your body by digesting them. And whatever cellular structures can be recycled will be recycled. Those that need to be removed will be removed. Because people forget that your body is actually a machine. It is actually a machine. It is a vessel, okay? It is a vessel. And that machine needs to be functioning optimally. And it, just like a car needs to be tuned up, just like a car needs to be maintained, have oil changes, clean out certain systems. The same thing goes with your body as well. And that's where autophagy steps in. But the fascinating thing is that if you do a 16-hour fast, your body will enter a state of autophagy after 13, 14 hours. With this product, the chlorogenic acid level, by activating the AMPK pathway, if you're on a 16-hour fast, instead of waiting for the 13th, 14th hour for your body to be healed, that's what Dr. Grace is drinking right now. At the instead of the 13th, 14th hour, your body actually enters autophagy at the 8th, 9th hour. Therefore, you are getting much more benefits. You're actually putting your body in a state of autophagy a lot longer, therefore allowing for the healing process to take place a lot sooner and gaining more benefit. The theobromine content in this product is of a level that will not only give you vasodilation, so therefore helping to bring down your blood pressure. It will not just cause bronchodilation to allow you to breathe better, but it actually, along the theobromine plus the chlorogenic acid, actually increase your dopamine levels in the gut. So having said that, people with mild depression and anxiety, lots of benefits for them here. But let me point out another thing. Parkinson's patients. I have one patient, Parkinson's patient, who has shown improvement in the shuffling gait, in the cogwheel rigidity, in their mood, and as well. Why? Because Parkinson's patients lack dopamine. Because dopamine, they're always pointing out that dopamine is produced in the substantia nigra, which is right in this region right here of the brain. But in fact, as Dr. Grace, I love that you pointed that out, because that's something that I was having a debate with another healthcare professional about, that 70% of the dopamine is actually produced in our gut. And if your gut microbiome is working properly, that will be of great benefit for even Parkinson's patients, patients with mild depression, anxiety, and so much more. In North America alone, 26% of females are on an SSRI for depression and anxiety. That's ridiculous. Nobody is addressing the gut microbiome. And the fact is that if we were to address your metabolic health, your health would improve, not just physically, but mentally as well. Now, having said that, this product also contains saponins and polyphenols. And what are the benefits with that? Saponins are known to be very beneficial for patients who are either wanting to prevent cancer or are going through cancer treatment, because saponins have a natural component in which they enhance the body's defense mechanisms to fight against cancer. Not just that, when what you call the chlorogenic acid, going back to chlorogenic acid also inhibits alpha glucosidase, which is the enzyme that eventually brings the glucose into your body. By doing that, we are able to keep the glucose out. Why do we want the glucose out? Because we do not want a sugar spike. And that takes me to the slide now, that slide with the graph. Can we go there?
Okay, let me pull it out. Just bear with me.
Yep.
Too many files. There we go.
Oh, that's okay. Every doctor's life is too many files.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, so this is the actual reason why we developed all these chronic health issues. In the graph, you see that the yellow line is the sugar spike. And that's caused by your modern food environment, because when they removed all the fiber from our diet, it causes a huge sugar spike. And by causing a huge sugar spike, the pancreas has to compensate by releasing just as much insulin. So now you have an insulin spike. Insulin normally should be around maybe 90 minutes, maybe 120 minutes tops, right? It should just do its job and then go away. But in this case, by causing this huge sugar spike, you're keeping the insulin levels up for 4 hours. And when you're keeping the insulin levels up for 4 hours, you drive the sugar spike below baseline. And when you drive the sugar spike below baseline, that's what initiates food noise, the cravings for sugar and salt. And because nobody warned you about this, over time, by eating this modern, highly processed foods, what ends up having, it becomes a behavior and then eventually develops into a food addiction because your body physiologically is demanding it. It has become dependent on this food. But the way to break it is by replenishing your gut microbiome. But because they have removed the fiber from the food, your gut microbiome is suffering. Because, like I mentioned before, when the gut is not receiving all the fibers it requires, then the good bacteria, the good microbes begin to die out, and therefore causing a chain reaction for the manifestations of all of these health issues and diseases. But here's the catch. What they promote out there is they say Metamucil, get Metamucil. It's the #1 doctor recommended brand, right? Metamucil is psyllium husk. Nothing wrong with psyllium husk, but psyllium husk is not enough, because those gut bacteria and those microbes in your gut microbiome, they are different species and they require different fibers as their food. And they're going to tell you, yeah, just keep taking the probiotics. But unless the field, like when you do gardening, when you're growing foods, first you prepare the field. And what do you prepare the field with? You prepare the field with nourishment. For what? The plants. If you want the plants to grow, you need to nourish the field. In the same sense, you need the fiber in order to nourish the good bacteria and the good microbes. And because they require different fibers as food, psyllium husk will only feed certain bacteria, but it will not feed all of the gut microbes and all of the different gut bacteria. And that's why you need different types. And that's why balance is so important, because balance is the only fiber product that has been clinically proven by the Cleveland Clinic, the #1 heart research hospital in the world. They proved that this fiber product works better than statin medications. Statin medications are your lipid-lowering pharmaceutical medications. So people who are suffering from high cholesterol, they're like, oh, you got high cholesterol, your LDLs are really high, we got to put you on a statin medication, right? This works better than a statin medication. And why should you go for this as opposed to a statin? Well, #1, first of all, this is going to replenish your gut microbiome. This contains 7 different fibers. It's a 7-source fiber matrix biosphere. All the fibers you require are in this packet. So instead of going out and shopping and going, oh, I need to get this fiber, I need to get this fiber, now what components do I need to put together? All you have to do is use this. And this will help replenish the gut microbiome. Not just that, this contains guar gum. Guar gum is a fascinating fiber. It's been used for thousands of years for its high protein content. But guar gum also not just helps to bind the food and create a coating around it, therefore decreasing the amount of glucose that's being absorbed from it, right? Because the University of Sydney is the home of the glycemic index, and they proved that this product will cut down your sugar spike by 43%, therefore bringing it to the level of a protein hill, because a protein does not spike your sugar, and therefore not causing an insulin spike. But the fact is that this product will work better than a statin medication as well. Why is that? Because the phytosterols, phyto meaning plant, sterols meaning molecules, components that have a similar molecular structure to cholesterol, this will block all the bad cholesterol from being absorbed from your gut. But not just that. In the modern food environment, many of you are suffering from, what you call blocked blood vessels. Okay, so you got plaque formations happening. You got atherosclerosis. Some of you are suffering from coronary artery disease. You go to the doctor, they do a Doppler ultrasound of your carotids. They say there's 70-80% blockage there. Then they do a scan of your heart. They say the right coronary, left coronary, circumflex arteries are being blocked, right? This product will help prevent that from happening. Why? Because it is the linoleic acid content in seed oils that is actually contributing and actually causing all of those plaque formations to take place. And therefore, the phytosterols in this product actually bind to the linoleic acid and don't allow for all of it to be absorbed into your body. Therefore, many patients have actually, told me, Dr. C, I went for another scan. They told me that my plaques have decreased. And I'm like, yeah, because you've been using it for several months. That is the benefit of the human body. The human body is an amazing machine. You give it the right tools, it actually starts to heal itself. Okay. Now, having said that, when you have an insulin spike and you're constantly eating these highly processed foods, what you're doing is you're keeping your insulin levels high for too long. And insulin is the master metabolic hormone. It influences so much in your body. You see, people all know that insulin, takes sugar out of the bloodstream, gives it to the cells. We all know that one. But insulin is actually involved in hundreds, if not thousands, of cellular and physiological processes that are going on in your body. And insulin will influence other hormones as well. It will influence your stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. It will influence your sex hormones like estrogen and also testosterone. It will influence your thyroid as well. Think hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's thyroiditis. It will influence your hunger hormones like ghrelin and leptin. It will even influence your brain because your brain also has receptors for insulin. But the thing is that when insulin is kept high for too long, and I'm keeping an eye on the time because I know that when I start talking, I'll just keep going, right? So when you keep your insulin levels high for too long, right? When you have hyperinsulinemia and eventually when you develop insulin resistance, 90% of the cholesterol in your body is actually produced by the liver. And when your insulin levels are kept high for too long and you have hyperinsulinemia, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, PCOS, obesity, migraine headaches, you name it, there's a whole bunch of chronic health issues tied into this alone, right? When you keep it high for too long, the liver starts to produce what is known as LDL patron type B, okay? B for bad, okay? And so LDLB gets produced. LDLB is the one that gets oxidized. And when it gets oxidized, it will oxidize cells in your body. Therefore, they stop functioning properly. But not just that, LDLB is the one that is responsible for much of your plaque formation in your blood vessels. When the reason why I brought that up is because this guy, Balance, contains sugarcane extract. Why does it contain sugarcane extract? Because sugarcane extract contains a molecule referred to as polycosanol. And polycosanol actually goes to the liver and inhibits HMG-CoA reductase, the enzyme, and prevents the production of LDLB, therefore bringing down your LDLBs. But not just that, it also brings down ApoA and ApoB as well, which many cardiac patients are always keeping their eyes on, right? Now, have I lost you guys? Are you guys all understanding everything that's coming out of my mouth because I start rapidly firing information?
Yeah.
Dr. C, we can listen to you the whole evening, the whole night.
Okay.
Go on.
All right, thank you. Okay, now the other thing is, many people struggle with those food cravings. They struggle with the food noise. And I already told you how they developed that. Because by removing fiber from the diet, they're causing these huge sugar spikes. By causing the huge sugar spikes, you're causing insulin spikes. And with those insulin spikes driving your sugars down below baseline is triggering the food noise, the food cravings that eventually develop into food addiction. Everybody's running towards the GLP-1 agonists. Let me say something about the GLP-1 agonists for just a second. They are poison. They are not supposed to be used as first-line treatment. The actual guidelines state that for patients who are trying to lose weight, the GLP-1 agonists were supposed to be used as the last resort after everything else has been tried, including lifestyle modification. And yet they are giving it out like candy. And what happens with that? The side effects, gastroparesis, loss of vision, pancreatitis, lean mass loss, patients are developing osteoporosis. It's just crazy, the side effects, because those medications were not supposed to be used the way they are being used. And pharmaceutical medications were only supposed to be used temporarily to stabilize patients when we're trying to figure out what's going on. They were not supposed to be used to just keep you on it for life. Why did I bring up the GLP-1 agonists? Because the Unamate tea, yerba mate, the plant, is a natural GLP-1 enhancer. GLP-1 is a hormone that is naturally produced in your gut. And yerba mate, this yerba mate extract, will raise your GLP-1 levels naturally by 40 to 70%. So say goodbye to the food noise, the food cravings, and the food addiction. And the beautiful thing about these products is that because they are completely natural, there is no dependency issues. There's no contraindications. And why I say no contraindications is because depending on patient to patient situation, because these are natural, we can easily adapt the protocol to fit what they need. And also no side effects. The only side effects these products have is that you're going to feel great. You're going to feel amazing. Okay. Now, when I said no dependency issues, why do I say that? With pharmaceutical medications, when you go on pharmaceutical medications, you're dependent on them. They're controlling the symptoms. But once you come off of them, all those symptoms come back, and it may even be worse because it does not arrest disease progression. These have no dependency issues because they are natural. Once you reach your health goals, if you want to continue using them because they're making you feel better and better, continue using them and you're going to see more health benefits. But if you want to stop once you reach your health goals, as long as you maintain a healthy lifestyle after that, your issues aren't coming back. And have these products actually changed people's lives? I'll say this very openly and very straightforward. Have they reversed type 2 diabetes? Yes, they have. Have they reversed PCOS? Yes, they have. Have they reversed obesity? Yes, they have. Migraine headaches? Yes. Inflammation, joint pains, bilateral rheumatoid arthritis in the knees. Macy, I have the video up. Macy had bilateral rheumatoid arthritis of the knees, gone, and so much more. So having said that, I mean, if I sit here and start talking, I'll go for 3 hours. But the fact is that these products have literally changed lives. And that is why, I'm so glad that Dr. Grace and I are collaborating together along with Susanna Pavlovich. As a team, we are bringing this out to all of you because this is your opportunity to take control of your health. Once your gut microbiome has been replenished, once we have reversed insulin resistance with these products, your body will start to heal itself and you will reestablish metabolic flexibility. What is metabolic flexibility? Metabolic flexibility is the body's ability to shift from glucose to fat as an energy source. When you eat food, food turns into glucose. When you have glucose in the bloodstream, your insulin levels will rise up. When you no longer have glucose in the bloodstream, insulin levels will go down to baseline. When insulin levels are low, the fat's got to go. That's when you tap into your fat for fuel. And so why do we tap into our fat for fuel? Because by burning fat, we produce ketones, which is another clean energy source. And when you are insulin resistant, your insulin levels are kept high. And when your insulin levels are kept high, you are in fat storage mode. You cannot burn fat. And therefore now the brain, we're going to use the brain as an example because a lot of people talk about brain fog, they talk about migraines and dementia, whether we're talking about Alzheimer's dementia, vascular dementia, or Lewy bodies dementia. The fact that why are all these situations are struggling, the pathway is the same. When your insulin levels are kept high, you are in fat storage mode. You cannot burn fat. And when the body becomes insulin resistant, the brain itself stops accepting glucose because it is not responding to the insulin in your body anymore. So now insulin cannot get the glucose into your brain. So you would think that the brain could use fat as an energy source by getting the ketones. But when you're insulin resistant, your insulin is kept high. And when your insulin is high, you're in fat storage mode. You cannot tap into the fat for fuel because you have to have insulin low. Only that, then the fat is going to go. But if insulin is kept high, you cannot tap into fat for fuel. So now both pathways are closed to the brain. So what ends up in that situation? People will think, well, Dr. Z, how is that possible? If the brain's not getting energy from either side, how are we still functioning? Because the body adapts, the body goes into survival mode, and it will go down to the most basic metabolic requirements necessary to keep you functioning at a very baseline level. So you're still functioning, you can still think, you can still do things, but you're not optimal. You still got the brain fog there. You're getting migraine headaches. You're getting headaches. Your brain is screaming that I need energy. I need full capacity energy, because neurotransmission is a high energy demanding process. And so when you reverse the insulin resistance, you will see brain fog be lifted. You will be able to function more clearly. Your memory, concentration, focus, and even your ability to learn new concepts increases dramatically. But not just that, your migraines, your headaches also decrease dramatically. And also, if you have loved ones who have dementia, who have what you call Alzheimer's, vascular dementia, or even Lewy bodies dementia, that is why I always recommend to people start giving them external ketones so they have an alternative energy source, because their body is not able to tap into their fat storage for ketones. All right. Now, having said that, Dr. Grace, should I go on?
Yes, you still have about 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
I have 10, 15 minutes left. Okay. So now, having said that, the fact is that when your body develops insulin resistance, you see, insulin works like a gear shift. What I just told you just now, you eat food, food turns into glucose. When you have glucose in the bloodstream, glucose is your energy source, insulin levels rise up. When your insulin levels are high up, certain hormones and physiological processes are taking place. When your insulin comes down, when you no longer have glucose in the bloodstream, other hormones and physiological processes take place, right? So therefore, insulin is actually working as a gear shift, and it is actually regulating many of the mechanisms that are going on in your body, because the rest of the body is looking where the insulin levels at. Accordingly, we will function, right? But with the modern food environment, by removing fiber and giving us highly processed carbs, and on top of that, a high sugar intake which is not healthy for human consumption. By doing that, what they've done is they've kept our insulin levels stuck in gear, and therefore not allowing for other hormonal and physiological processes to take place, by just keeping us in fat storage mode. And by doing that, it causes hormonal imbalance. What this system does is it not only helps you reverse insulin resistance, but it is a complete gut metabolic reset. Because once the gut microbiome and your insulin levels are brought back to normal, the body starts to heal itself, and you start going out towards the path towards optimal health. And it makes things so simple. Why? All you got to do is wake up in the morning and have a Unimate. And even if you don't intermittent fast now, just start using the products. You will start intermittent fasting on your own. That's what happened to me. When I first started using these products, I was not intermittent fasting. I just want to see what the products will do to my body. And I started intermittent fasting after a few days. I was just like, I don't feel hungry for breakfast. Okay, let's skip breakfast. Let's keep going, right? Absolutely fascinating. You just wake up in the morning, mix this in water, and start drinking. And then with your heaviest meal, you have the fiber product. All right. And with that, you will, and I'm not going to say have pizza every day. I'm not going to say have junk food or something. I'm not saying that. But eat healthy and have your balance. But sometimes you're out and about. Sometimes you want to have a little bit of fun. Sometimes when I'm with my kids, they're like, Papa, can we have pizza? And I'm like sitting there going, it's not good for you. You know, it's lacking fiber. It's got all these, you know, other components that I don't want in there. But then I even give my kids balance as well. And then we have the pizza. Yes, I give my kids. These are so safe that I even give them to my children because these are natural food-based products. Natural food-based products. That's how safe they are, right? Now, having said that, I'm sure I'll come on again. I'm sure I'll come on again with Dr. Grace in the future. And at that time, I'll go deeper into a few more concepts. But right now, what I wanted to say, whoever invited you to this presentation, reach out to them and talk to them about the products. And please get in touch with Dr. Grace. You know, she is absolutely amazing. Get in touch with her. Get on these products. She will guide you. She will show you how these products will actually improve your health. And let me point out another thing too. You're a great benefit to be with Dr. Grace because if your situation is such that you need to adapt the Feel Great system according to your condition, your health condition, she will definitely guide you and adapt it accordingly. Have we been able to help type 1 diabetics normalize their blood sugars and decrease the amount of insulin that was required for them to take? Yes, we have. Yes, we have. And that is why, Dr. Grace, you know that type 1 diabetic testimonial that I posted, right? For the first time, this one patient that we have, for the first time in his life, he stated, he goes, his primary doctor was also shocked because for the first time in his life as a type 1 diabetic, and he's actually a New York City cop, his A1Cs actually came down for the first time from an 8 to a 6. And on top of that, he was able to lose 20 pounds of excess weight. And that's a type 1 diabetic who's at risk of diabetic ketoacidosis. So he can't fast. So what I'm trying to stress here is the system adaptable? Yes, it is. It is. We do not think, oh, it's one size fits all. In many cases, it is. Just start using the product and you're going to see your body heal. It's just an amazing journey. But if we need to adapt it in certain ways, maybe, you know, you should cut down on this a little bit. We'll change the scheduling here. That's the beauty of going natural. And that is the beauty of going down to the root cause. We will figure out a way to apply it to you so that you get maximum benefits and we will get you to optimal health, you know? So come join us on this journey and and have the best life of your remaining years. And may you live long and may the Lord bless you, okay? Until next time, this is Dr. C. Thank you so much, Dr. Grace, for bringing me on your webinar. All right, we've got to do this again, but yes, definitely reach out to Dr. Grace. You know,
thank you.
We work closely together and you are in good hands. You're in excellent hands. I'm Dr. C, Chief of Metabolic Health, Surgical Center for Obesity and Diabetes, and former advisor to the Prime Minister of India on Himalayan healthcare. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. C.
You're very welcome, Dr. Grace. You're very welcome.
We feel privileged, humbled, and it's just been exciting to learn about insulin resistance and how we can manage it, how we can get ourselves back on the healthy track with so minimal effort. And that's what I love about the product. You have your Unimate, like you're drinking tea. Come on. And then you don't feel hungry for the rest of the day. For me, that is just genius stuff.
It was a game changer for me as well. It's a game changer for me as well. It is really easy to use.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
All right.
So to conclude, if anyone wants to work with me, we have several packages. I have put them here, and you have the comprehensive health reset, which involves a 1 to 2 hour consultation, advanced lab testing, the stools you saw, the urine samples you saw, the hormone tests, the DNA, food sensitivity tests, are all included. You have the personalized treatment plan where we look at your nutrition, your supplements, your lifestyle modifications while you're on the Feel Good system as well. Regular follow-ups, weekly group health coaching sessions. I have people here on the group who are with me on my weekly group sessions, and I bet you they can all say they're really pleased to be in a group where they can catch up weekly and check out what's going well and what's not going well. So you have 24-hour access, and you have a tailored diet and fitness plan, stress management strategies, monthly IV therapy sessions if you're in the UK. Then we have access to cognitive behavioral therapists, or they also do EMDR if required. Access to full body scan included in the 12-month programs. The Feel Great system included in the 12-month programs. And then for those who want to go further and look good inside as well as outside, we have aesthetic packages as well. We have the glow-up treatments, the non-surgical facelifts, we have medical skin grade, skin rejuvenation, we have body contouring treatments, and all on the 12-month programs. We're going to put an application form. Zarika is going to post it. Anyone interested in working with us for either 4 months or a full year, the information will be included in the application forms. Other than that, if you want to contact us directly, this is our website. We have 2 websites. One is mainly the aesthetics one, and one is mainly the root cause medicine, functional medicine one. These are our phone numbers. You can also join our Facebook group. We post regular tips there. It's called Hormonal Healing and Health Transformation. Our Instagram is at GM Healthcare and at Dr. Grace Hula. What I forgot to add is that I'm doing TikTok live, thanks to Dr. C and to Susanna, who have guided me and got me out of my shell. So now I'm brave enough to do TikTok. That's amazing. For me, that's like, oh my God. So I am so grateful. And
I love that,
I'm
Dr.
hoping
Grace.
to keep in touch with everybody. You know how to contact us. We'll always be there for you. Whether it's just a free consultation, give us a ring, find out how we can help you. Okay? Sometimes it takes a helping hand of a professional. Think of somebody who wants to go and climb Mount Everest. There's some experts, like the person who wrote the book and who's been on Mount Everest several times. Would you go to Mount Everest alone, or would you rather get advice from that person? If you went to Mount Everest alone, what are the chances of you surviving? Versus if you got in touch with the person who's been there several times, knows what to do, how fast would you be able to achieve your goals? So it is a big hurdle, but if you have somebody holding your hands, it's a lot. You get to where you want to go a lot quicker. Invest in your health. You only have the one life, and it's precious. So don't take it for granted. Let us help you, because once we sort you out, it's, as Dr. C said, it's for life, because you know what to do. You're on the correct path, and nothing can then stop you from achieving good health. So I'd like to close today by thanking so many people. Dr. C, thank you so much. And as you said, we will continue our collaborations. In fact, me and Susanna are planning a talk this Saturday. So we will continue. Susanna, thank you for coming. Zarika, thank you for all the IT stuff and for the slides. Sal, Shanette, thank you for being the MC. And everybody who attended, may you live longer. Cheers to that.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Yeah. Anyone
Thank
wants
you
to say anything, we can unmute everybody. Now is the time to say everything. Zarika, are you able to unmute everybody? Anyone wants to say anything, they're more than welcome to do so. We appreciate you all. We love you all.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, it's Azia to hear, Sana.
Thank you for joining, Azatu.
Yeah, thank you. I've been using the protocol for over a year now. I'm with Dr. C. I joined
Wow.
Dr. C. Yes, it's amazing. It's a very good program, and I must emphasize that the fact that when you have a headache, I was having headaches.
Yeah.
Then whenever I tried everything, then one day I was just saying, maybe let me just take the balance. I
Yeah.
took the balance, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's like a miracle, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Amazing.
amazing. It's amazing products.
Yeah.
It's amazing product. I just want to emphasize that. It's amazing.
Awesome. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
That's such a good thing to hear. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Wow.
Well
I
done.
love that. I love
Anybody
that.
else wants to say anything?
Dr. Grace, I know we've met before, and I'm happy to be on your program again. Thank you.
Oh.
I don't know if you remember me.
Who's talking? Asiatu. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. The name sounds familiar. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your
You're
support.
welcome. You're welcome.
Can I say something?
Yes, Sal, you can talk here.
I'd like to say thank you so much to Dr. Grace and Dr. C, and also to Susanna. I look so forward to watching more of
You're
this.
echoing.
Okay, how do I stop echoing? It's from you.
You have to use another phone.
Okay, it's your loud.
No, it's because both are connected.
Okay.
My phone.
Okay, I wanted to say thank you anyway to everybody because you know it's a very insightful thing to watch everyone in action. But I'm very grateful that you guys are here saving one life at a time. Thank you.
You're welcome,
Thank
Sal.
you. Thank you.
You took action. That's the important thing.
That's important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Dr. Grace and Dr. C. Thank you for your information. It's very helpful. Where are you both based?
Oh gosh. Opposite ends of the world.
Oh,
Opposite
okay.
sides
I'm
of the
based in
world.
the UK, in Sheffield, but I also work at Harley Street in London,
Oh, I
and
see.
Birmingham, Liverpool, Manchester.
Okay. And Dr. C?
Dr. C, I'm presently in Toronto, Canada, and I
Okay.
also work with an international bariatric team as well.
Okay.
Wow.
Where are you
Praise-
based, Pam?
I'm in Kent
Oh.
in England, yeah, UK.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm more of a one face-to-face person.
Yeah.
So
Come
that's
to
why I
Harley
asked.
Street.
Yes,
I'm at
wonderful.
Harley Street, yeah.
Okay, we'll
There's a
come.
form you can fill in and we'll be able to call you and continue the conversation.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
Zurika, I think you posted the form before.
Well, I've copied your I think it was your email that you. Oh,
Yeah. Yes. So she's posted the link again. Anybody wants any consultation or to buy the products or to join us and become part of our team for a year, the link for the application form has just been posted in the chats.
so you know the products that you use, are they organic? They're obviously natural.
Yes. They're natural
Completely
products.
natural. Completely natural.
Yeah.
So do they like have the seal of approval on it, like the leaf, that the organic seal?
The organic seal?
Like, you know, you have I'm probably not explaining it properly. The Soil Association. So
Approval.
yeah, the Soil Association approval, that's it. So it's like almost like the green leaf, that's the green leaf or the black leaf, and that you can locate it to the batch and just no.
There are other
Khadija,
approvals.
Yes.
Halal,
Yes, they're
kosher.
halal, kosher, certified, everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're religion safe. They've covered all
Yeah.
bases there. And they're vegan, vegetarian safe. Yeah.
It's not vegetarian for me. It's more that they're organic and they're natural. That's fine. Thank you. It's been really interesting listening to you. A wealth of information.
Thank you,
And
Pam. Thank you.
Thank you. Knowledge is power.
yes, God says that my people perish from lack of knowledge, and knowledge is power. That's right. So thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank God for your lives that you're doing, you know,
Thank you.
you're helping people. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank
Have
you.
a good
Thank you for
evening as
attending.
well.
Bless you. No, I had it in my calendar today that I must attend, because obviously with I'm reaching that stage of like menopause, and I'm interested in this, and I've recently just lost my father actually.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, recently lost. He was terminal for the last 8 months, and we were going through using herbal medications and the probiotics, and yeah, so it's quite recent. So I am interested in this kind of stuff, but yeah,
Yeah.
for
sorry to
the
hear about
health
your father.
reasons. Thank you very much for educating people, because that's what we need.
Yeah.
There's a big conspiracy with the what was it, the conventional medications and stuff, and this is good. This is good what you're doing, all natural and herbal.
Thank
Don't
you.
get me started on the controversies. Don't get me started on the controversies.
Honestly, that pharmaceutical stuff, it gets you,
Oh,
It's poison, honestly.
yeah, what
it's
you're putting
poison.
into your system. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's bad. You actually feel
it's
scared
very
of
bad.
going to the doctors, because what they're going to prescribe, it's going to make you 10 times worse than you already are.
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
But blessings to you all. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Hopefully we'll talk to you later.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Another couple of points I wanted to bring up that I didn't mention about this product, the chlorogenic acid level. When I was doing my research on it, Dr. William Lee, he's a physician and a medical researcher from Harvard. And he, with the chlorogenic, he pointed out from his research that chlorogenic acid also prevents your telomeres at a chromosomal level from degrading, therefore increasing cell longevity, and also protects and activates your stem cells. And this chlorogenic acid level in this product is at a medicinal level, right? Those are other two benefits as well I want to point out. Somebody else has a question or something? No? Elizabeth?
Anyone with any questions?
Any more questions?
We're going to go live again.
There was a question.
Okay.
Finished it, done.
Can you take other vitamins with this? Of course you can. Just make sure the high quality good vitamins which don't have preservatives, excessive conservatives, bulking agents, because all those end up being toxic to your body and to your gut. Yeah. Okay. On the count of three.
Dr. C said nope.
Of course, no. The magnets are
Any age
since they were in a
restrictions?
roll.
No age restrictions.
Quiet.
Well, you're not gonna give them to a newborn. I'll say that.
No.
You're not gonna give them to a newborn. Okay, so there is an age restriction there. Okay,
Oh my
but
God.
once they're running around, you know, and they're eating regular food, you can give them these products. Right?
Amazing.
Right? You just have to adapt it. Now, for children, for example, the Unimate, I would dilute it further. You know, you'd give them a further diluted version, right? So instead of 500 mils, we'd probably dilute it in 750, 1,000 mils, okay? Because they're children, you don't want to like give them too much energy. They've already got too much energy to begin with. But otherwise, no age restrictions. If you're 110 years old, get on these products, you'll feel younger.
What about pregnant women?
Pregnant women, Susanna, I wish you were on this call right now. If Susanna was talking, because Susanna, gestational diabetes, tell them about the experience. Where are you? Oh, Susanna's gone. Oh, okay. Yes, you can use them while pregnant. You can use them while pregnant, and we've actually helped patients prevent themselves from developing gestational diabetes, and those who were going to be given insulin because they're gestational diabetes, we helped them reverse it, get it under control, so they were not put on insulin while pregnant. It's absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, there's moments where we're like going through it, and then another patient will tell us, Dr. C, this improved. And I'll be like, what? This is amazing. Okay. The human body is truly amazing. Okay.
Amazing, amazing. What about anyone who doesn't want to lose weight and they just want to take it for feeling good?
Yes. And yes, absolutely. Because these products are NSF certified, meaning athletes are allowed to use them. And do athletes use them? Yes. The amazing thing about this company is that they do not sponsor athletes, celebrities, or anything. They don't want to spend their money on them. They're like, our product works. You have a 90-day money-back guarantee. The products are listed in the physician's desk reference. These are real. We do not have to pay. We do not have to sponsor athletes to promote our product. So actually, the reason why I'm telling you that is because even if you're healthy, you will benefit from these products. Zach Bitters is Team USA ultra marathon runner, and he broke 2 world records in ultra marathon running. And during his interview, he actually stated that he was using these products. He said, these are the products I was using. Then Mike Saunders is a power lifter. He broke world records. He openly also came out, I'm using these products. Vlad Guerrero of the Blue Jays, Toronto Blue Jays baseball player who's really famous in baseball world, if you're an American or Canadian in this side of the pond, right? Because I know on that side of the pond, cricket is big. And yes, I do follow cricket. I'm brown. And so... the thing is what you call Mike Saunders, Vlad Guerrero, Zach Bitters, Shaquille O'Neal, all of them are on these products now.
Wow.
Right. So it's and not enough people know about these products. And the fascinating thing was Balance was on the shelves 30 years ago. And when Cleveland Clinic brought out its research paper proving that it works better than pharmaceutical medication, and Cleveland Clinic states at the end of its research paper, if this product, what you call, could easily replace lipid-lowering pharmaceutical medications and would be of great benefit to cardiovascular patients, Big Pharma lobbied to have it removed from the shelves.
Wow.
because there was a product that was actually being backed with medical research saying that it works better than pharmaceuticals.
Wow.
They do not want people to heal. They do not want people to go natural. They do not want people to reverse their health issues because chronic illness is a big business, and that's how Big Pharma makes its money.
Yeah, it's bad for their business.
That's the best thing.
It's bad for their business. We are bad. Dr. Grace, you and I are bad for their business.
Yes, very bad.
When I was watching Dr. C the first time when I caught his live on TikTok, he was talking about Big Pharma, and he was like, I can't say too much because they'll stop me, but this is my message. They are bad. Statin is bad. Yeah. So that was so fantastic to
I don't know
hear
what
someone
happened.
standing up.
What is that, Elizabeth?
This is Doctor.
Yeah. Okay. We could go on like this the whole night.
Oh, we could go on. We could keep going, and then I could get into the whole controversies. 1948, Procter and Gamble pays, the American Heart Association.
I've seen those TikToks.
Dr. C, when do you do your TikTok lives?
In the middle of the night at 3 a.m.
Yeah, sometimes it's Dr. Grace, schedule is crazy. So sometimes when I'm up in the middle of the night because I'm doing telehealth, I'll be like, okay, I'm still awake. Let's go on a live. Let's go.
Oh my God, that's true dedication.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll schedule another one.
We'll schedule another one. We'll schedule another one for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thoroughly enjoyed this. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
this time, I'm really going to actually exit.
Thank you.